Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here. This is the second session of the Knowledge Bite series. We have Jon-Michael Muise of the USDA Rural Development here in our office. He will be presenting on USDA Rural Development programs. So the goal of these webinar series is to provide a high-level introduction to economic and workforce development programs, resources, and tools. At the end of each of these sessions, participants will be provided with contact information. So for instance, you will get Jon-Michael's email address and probably phone number, so you can talk to him at a later date if you have any more questions on in-depth assistance to utilizing the USDA Rural Development programs. So the webinar structure, it's about 20 minutes of presentation by Jon-Michael, and then there's going to be 10 minutes of question and answer. If you are thinking of questions during the session, feel free to go ahead and put them into that chat function. At the end, Jon-Michael will go through those questions in the chat function and answer those. And as I just said, this is being recorded. This website here, brattleborodevelopment.com/knowledgebites, is where they will be stored. You can also find the upcoming schedule and the different topics. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the baton over to Jon-Michael, and he'll get started here in just 1 second.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sarah, for the invitation to be able to come and speak today. This will be a high-level overview of USDA Rural Development's programs that we offer. I consider this the beginning of a relationship, so if you have items that come up later on after this presentation that may be a fit, or you think they might be a fit for our agency, please certainly give us a call. As Sarah said, my name is Jon-Michael Muise. I'm the Acting State Director for Vermont and New Hampshire. I've been with the agency for about 28 years now and worked in most every program we have. And I got to tell you, it's never been boring. We have programs that can build a community from the ground up. So hopefully today you'll get a flavor for what we have. And as I said, please contact us. So, USDA Rural Development is one of 7 mission areas under the Department of Agriculture. We're the only federal agency that strictly focuses on rural America. So all the programs that we talk about here in Vermont, 99% of the state is eligible to participate. We are a 2-state jurisdiction where we cover Vermont and New Hampshire. There are communities in New Hampshire that are not eligible to participate. Basically, all of our programs that we discussed have income criteria and population criteria, and then I'll touch base on those as we go through the presentation. So, our mission is to increase economic opportunity and improve the quality of life for all rural Americans. And we achieve that through financial investments. And as you can see on the slide, we had a significant amount of money invested in Vermont in 2016, and then we are currently in 2017 fiscal year, and we're probably looking to exceed that number this year, which is quite a few dollars invested, which is great. And besides our financial investments, we also work on a technical assistance side with communities and organizations on community and economic development. And last fiscal year, we were able to touch 216 different communities. So, how do we achieve our mission? We do it through 40 different programs. It's important to know that not all of our programs are created equal. Some are accessed on a national scale, some are accessed on a state level, and the other on a local level. out of the 3 agencies that comprise USDA Rural Development, they all have 3 financial ways to assist a community or organizations that are in the community. We have guarantee loans, we have direct loans where you come into our office and we underwrite the loans ourselves, and then we have the all-elusive grant programs. So under our mission area of rural development, we have a rural housing service, a rural utility service, and a rural business and cooperative service. And I'm not sure if anybody can identify these slides here. The housing one is in New Hampshire, so you wouldn't know that too well. The community one is a solar photovoltaic in, I believe, the Rutland area, and then West Townsend Country Store, which is a business that we assisted there. So, starting with our housing programs, again, guarantees, direct loans, and grants. So, the guaranteed loans are income-based as well as the direct loans. They're designed to assist single-family to purchase their first-time homes, and they access that through a conventional bank. The bank comes to us and asks if we're interested in guaranteeing it. It's a 100% loan-to-value product, and is very, very beneficial for the bank to eliminate what they call primary mortgage insurance. Our program replaces that, so it makes it affordable. We also have multifamily housing guarantee loans, which basically can be senior living, apartment-type complexes that we will guarantee for a lender. And then we have our direct lending. Single-family housing, again, people come into our office. It is for 80% of median household income in the region. So it's designed to assist that family that doesn't have the down payment, might not be making as much money to afford a conventional loan, will be able to get assistance through our office. And again, we have multifamily housing programs where, say, a Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust will build a multifamily housing complex. We assist with subsidizing the rents so that the can be affordable for rentals. We do have farm labor housing, which is designed for production agriculture to have on-site farm labor, and the housing can be provided free of charge. And then we have a home repair direct loan and grant program. The direct loans are a 1% fixed interest rate up to 20 years for $20,000. And the reason I mention that is, besides your participating on this call today, you all live in communities that know of maybe an elderly person that owns their home and needs a ramp, or their furnace has died, or their roof has a hole in it. The Home Repair Direct program is for people that can potentially afford a little bit of a payment, but not much of one, to address some needs around the house. And again, the single-family housing direct loan program, that is a subsidized loan product as well. It is currently the interest rate is 3.25% fixed for the life of the loan. The payment that is made to the agency is based on income. So they may get a subsidy on their interest rate so that their payments can be as low as a 1% payment. The reason that these housing programs are mentioned or are so important is, as community and economic development occurs around the region, employers need to recruit people, and those people need to find housing. These particular programs hopefully can supplement what a conventional lender can do, and many times help people that normally wouldn't be able to own their own home. Last little bullet on that is the grant program. Again, multifamily, it's rental assistance that helps that rental provider let the tenants have an affordable rent. Housing preservation grants are for entities that provide housing that want to improve housing stock in the particular region. And then the home repair grants are the complement to the home repair direct loans. Grants are for people that are over 62 and very low income. The loans are just for very low income. Again, housing, key item for community and economic development in any region. We have programs that can do rental, direct home ownership, and then improve the housing stock. Example of a young family that was able to access our program and have a safe and secure place for her family to live that's affordable. And then it just talks about in Vermont that how many houses we've been able to assist with, and then the overall assistance of 414 households with some form of a program that we assisted in the state of Vermont. So moving from the rural housing programs to our community programs. Our community programs are designed to assist essential community services. Again, guaranteed loans, direct loans, and grants. So an essential community service we would consider such as fire, rescue, museums, libraries, cultural facilities like the Latches Theater in Brattleboro or Paramount Theater in Rutland, and then other services could be for a women's crisis center. It could be for another not-for-profit type entity that's providing services in the community, daycares, hospitals, those type of items there. So under our guarantee program, as I said earlier, not all of our programs are created equal. The guaranteed loan program is for larger, financially stronger type projects. Typically, they're hospitals or large higher education institutions. And the key is we can guarantee these loans up to 90%. So hopefully the guarantee is enabling that commercial lender to be able to pass on better rates and terms to that essential community service. And the eligible entities to participate under this program are not-for-profits and municipalities. There is no loan limit under our guarantee program as well, or under our direct loan. So these are for sizable projects that a lender may or may not feel comfortable with the collateral, and we're able to assist them and be able to make that loan. Direct loans, obviously it says you have to be able to repay the loan. It's a loan, right? Not a grant. That particular program is a fixed interest rate as well. That is also currently at 3.25% fixed. It has better terms than the guaranteed loan. We can go up to 40 years if the collateral allows us to do that. It's, like I said, a fixed interest rate, and it can be 100% financing. Both of those programs are 100% financing. So you can imagine for a not-for-profit service that's in a community that needs to have that stable cash flow, needs to have a lower payment to be able to purchase, renovate, and offer the services they have there. And then there's the grant program. The particular grant program we have is a matching grant program. It can range from 15 to 75%. It says 35% on the slide. And not every community is eligible. Well, that's what I allude to. It's an elusive grant program. You need to measure the median household income and population for the service area to see if a community is eligible. And you just need to contact my office, and we'll be able to let you know what the potential percentage is that a community might be grant eligible. So, for example, the town of Brattleboro, based on the median household income and the population, is 35% grant eligible. So what that means is if the museum came to us and had a project of $100,000 that they were looking to do, or say the town of Brattleboro builds a new police station and wanted to buy equipment for it, and there's a $100,000 need on either project, potentially they could receive up to $35,000 in a grant. The matching component of that, the other 65%, would either have to be in hand, or we have the ability to use our direct loan to be able to make a 100% financing package for that entity. So again, grants, not every community is eligible. The loans, most every community is eligible. They serve populations of 20,000 or less, which, as I said earlier, captures 90% of the state of Vermont, except probably the Burlington area. And again, it's for essential community services. The other section of our community programs, the other ones were community facilities, and then the other one is our water and environmental programs. These are infrastructure type projects. Again, guaranteed, direct loans, and grants. Guarantees are typically not sought for this particular program because most of the water and sewer projects that you see are municipal, and banks really aren't in the business of doing municipal type projects in this arena. So our direct loan program, sliding scale on that based on the income for the community served, and water and sewer systems are unique because their service area may not be the whole town, it may be a section of the town. This particular program's threshold for population is 10,000 or less. So Brattleboro would not be eligible for it, but a Newfane, a Dummerston, a Townsend, some of the smaller communities potentially could be eligible to participate. Funds water systems, stormwater, and wastewater systems. We secure this with a general obligation bond, and again, the interest rates are sliding. The guarantee program, the grant program that participates with this, those grants are designed to be able to buy down the cost of the project so it's affordable for the users. Many water and sewer infrastructures are in multi-million-dollar categories. The grant dollars, again, it's a percentage, and the community has to be eligible to participate, and it's not an automatic grant. It's going to be based on need to get the cost in line with a similar type system in the area. The other utility type programs we have, there is a distance learning and telemedicine grant program, which an education facility or a hospital could use to do, maybe teach Spanish from, say, Brattleboro Union High School to Townsend and maybe out to Wilmington. It's a grant program that provides money for the equipment to be able to do that. And again, telemedicine, similar type situation, to be able to possibly treat patients across a longer or a larger area. Okay. And again, community programs in the water and environmental section. You can see this example is the town of Wilmington. They received up to about $2 million to upgrade the wastewater treatment facility. And last year, we were able to help about 18 communities across the state, and which benefited about 29,000 Vermonters. And then the final program that we, agency that works under our umbrella is our Business and Cooperative Service. Again, we have a guarantee component. We have a direct loan component, which is more of a loan to another entity to loan out. And then we have the all-inclusive grant programs. So the Business and Cooperatives Guarantee Program is for for-profit type entities. So the example locally here is we have a guaranteed loan on the Brattleboro Food Co-op. So that's a very specialized piece of collateral that the lender was looking to get a little more security around because it probably could only be used as a co-op. So, you know, our product was enable them to be able to make that loan. Those are usually up to $25 million projects, and those can be anywhere from a 90% guarantee, and depending on the dollar amount, work down to say a 50 or 60% guarantee, depending on the product. The second bullet under the guaranteed program is the Rural Energy for America program. Again, this is our business program, so our energy programs are designed for for-profit entities only. They cannot assist not-for-profits or municipalities. They are designed for, say, a for-profit grocery store that wanted to put in photovoltaics to offset their electric consumption. It could be a dairy farm that wants to put in an anaerobic digester to be able to create on-farm generation. Again, these are for-profits that consume the energy themselves, not to sell it to the grid or something like that. Direct loan programs, we do not have the staff or the ability to be able to loan money directly in this program. So what we do is we have programs that we can loan money to other entities that in turn can loan the money out. So the intermediary lending program is a 1% loan program to an eligible entity, such as maybe Rural Development Credit Corp. that in turn marks up the interest rate and loans that out for some specific purposes in the area to create economic and community development. And then we have a micro entrepreneurial assistance program, very similar to the intermediary lending program. However, it does have a grant component that comes with it for some administration supplements. And the grant programs. Under our business and cooperatives grant programs, 3 major grant areas. We have what we call rural business development grants. Those are applied for through a not-for-profit or a municipality that benefits small and emerging businesses. So those grants are primarily for what we call technical assistance activities, and in some cases can be for equipment. There was a slide, a few slides back, of the West Townsend Community Store. That particular entity, a not-for-profit, applied for funds to purchase kitchen equipment to create a shared kitchen facility. So they got the money, they were able to buy the equipment, and then that facility is used by for-profit entities to make large batches of products and to be able to sell them. So again, the money doesn't go to the for-profit business, but it benefits the small and emerging business. Another example, Chamber of Commerce could come to us and ask for some funds to do a marketing plan or a market research study in an area. They would get the money, they would hire a consultant. That plan or that study would be designed to assist small and emerging businesses in that catchment area. Moving down a little bit on the grants, we have the Value Added Producer Grant Program. That is a program for production-based farmers that want to take a homogeneous product and turn it into a value-added project. Think of milk to cheese, bottling maple syrup, things like that that they could use. Those dollars are used for business planning and for working capital for marketing, attending trade shows, developing their product, things of that nature. And the last bullet is a complement to the guaranteed program for the Rural Energy for America program. Again, it's a matching grant program that accompanies our guarantee or some other form of equity. Again, there's renewable energy and there's energy efficiency type activities for for-profit entities only. If you had a not-for-profit that wanted to do some photovoltaics or something like that, say a municipality or an arts theater that wanted to put, a biomass furnace in or something like that, our community facilities program would be the program that potentially could assist. This example here is a business up in the Northeast Kingdom. And we had a very rather large energy loan guarantee with Community National Bank. They produced a feasibility study that we supported with our Rural Business Development Grant Program. And again, all of our programs are designed to increase economic opportunity, improve the quality of life, i.e. job creation, job retention. So again, you can see that large project, 21 new jobs, able to heat 6,800 homes. And then finally, our community and economic development programs. We have a staff person that is primarily dedicated to community and economic development. His job is to build the pipeline for our agency with applications for projects that benefit rural areas, community and economic development. One thing that you'll see going forward with our agency and probably most agencies is that we can apply additional points to any of our applications and access set-aside money to be able to invest in communities. So projects that relate to multi-jurisdictional plans, town plans, SEDS plans, those type of things have the opportunity to get extra points on them so that we can access additional funds for that. So this is a Farm Bill, Section 6025 that was implemented, and it's been very successful. The other thing that we can offer is, community-led planning act, technical assistance that will help entities and communities move forward in a region. The middle slide section there is the Northeast Kingdom Collaborative, which is an entity that's comprised of multiple entities, economic development corps, planning commissions, hospitals, arts organizations, they all come together under this collaborative model to be able to make sure they're all not double duplicating services, make sure that they're looking to access funds that align with the plan for the region, and we've participated with trying to help them stay focused and get the resources they need. Other examples, we have a memorandum of understanding with the Vermont Council on Rural Development for the community visit process. We participated in about 5 projects last year. We're probably up to 3 or 4 this year. These type of activities, again, it's not money, but it's support to those entities to make sure that they're able to be successful. And here's the contact information in the state of Vermont. So again, we are a multi-state jurisdiction. We cover Vermont, New Hampshire. We're a federal agency, so we cover multiple jurisdictions across the country. Any one of these numbers you can call and ask to regarding the project you might have in mind, and we will get you to the proper person. You can also shoot me an email. I would close in saying that you, besides your professional reason on being on this program today, you all live in communities that need things. You all know of a not-for-profit rescue squad that does chicken barbecues to raise money for defibrillators. We might be able to help. You all know that elderly person that might need, wants to stay in their home, but they need a ramp to get in there, or their roof needs replaced. You might know of an arts organization that wants to put an addition on, or a library that's looking to replace their roof, or a museum. We have programs that potentially can assist. So the most important thing that you get from me today is our contact information. And as Sarah indicated, this is recorded, so you'll be able to access this, and you can also just give us a call. Thank you. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and I will minimize the slide and see if there's any questions.
Thanks so much, Jon-Michael. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions for him, please put that into the chat function, which he will be able to pull up and view those questions, and hopefully he can answer those in the detail that you need. So please go ahead and put those questions into the chat function for him.
So there's a question up there from a participant that asked about our support for the Climate Change Economy Program. At present, what we're doing is our Community Economic Development Director is working with them on developing programming and then participating to see if there's opportunities for our programs to assist maybe specific projects. We don't have anything too specific just yet for that one. But again, through our Rural Energy for America programs, some of our other programs that might create some efficiencies that would help with any contributions to the adversely affect the climate, we're interested in participating, but right now it's in a more of a technical assistance mode. I don't see any additional questions at this time. Oh, there we go. We have one more. The question is, my not-for-profit educational company rents space in a building owned by a credit union. If we want to do remodeling to increase handicap access, would my I think you're looking to see if your entity would qualify for some form of assistance. So yes, we can assist not-for-profits that lease space with different modifications, call them leasehold improvements, if you will. What would happen is, depending on where your service area, would depend if there's any grant eligibility versus loan eligibility. The second thing is, if we have loan dollars or even grant dollars in a project, we want to make sure that the term of the loan or the term of the grant agreement is at least as long as the lease that you have in place. So yes, certainly, We've assisted not-for-profit housing organizations with building out office space that's in a leased environment, and then we also, assisted with equipment and modifications. And the applicant for these programs is the person that's going to be providing the assistance. So if you were a daycare or a shelter or a museum or a library, and you were we run into situations where libraries actually many towns own the buildings, but there's a Friends of the Library that operates the building and so it leases it for $1. In that case, the Friends of the Library will be the applicant to be able to access the funds. Okay, there's another question up here. Might the TA for the Climate Economy Project be available to other municipalities doing similar work? It's possible. We do have, like I said, one dedicated staff person that's stretched fairly thin, but we're more than willing to talk about what an entity or municipality is doing for that type of work and see how it makes sense for us to assist and participate. Sometimes it's just sharing our knowledge that, we're working across a 2-state region and we are aware of a lot more examples and opportunities that people have done. So yes, we could do that.
Great. Are there any more questions for Jon-Michael while we have him here?
Again, it's recorded. If you sign off and a question pops up, please feel free to call us. I always recommend calling us early and often so that we can make sure that we can provide the best information to you. And don't worry about bothering us. That's what we're here for. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, John. I'm going to switch over real quick back to my screen just so I can show you guys. Just so you know, the next sessions that are coming up, we have on August 1st, R.T. Brown of BDCC is going to be presenting on the Windham County Economic Development Program RFP. There was a press release that just went out, I believe, either yesterday or today on the RFP, and he will be talking about the process for applying for that. And again, this one is Windham County specific. And then August 8th, we have Kristen Mihalik and Michelle Morocco that will be talking about the internship programs in both Windham and Bennington counties. Again, this is archived at that website below. If you have any suggestions of programs or resources, tools that you're interested in learning more about, please shoot me an email, give me a call. I would love to reach out to the experts that do or that sort of run those programs or resources and get them on here so you can hear more about it. Again, Jon-Michael, thank you so much for being here. Thank you everyone for attending, and this will be up on the website this afternoon, okay? Thanks everyone.
Sarah. Thank you.